Haiti could be as high as 200,000 after the earthquake last Tuesday. Rescuers are still hard at work trying to find survivors.
This country has already promised $100 million in aid, and in this region, communities are joining together to help out. Mike Cartwright is in Northampton now. Hi, Mike.
Yes, good evening, Stuart. Have a look at this. This tent sleeps 10 people. It's just one of dozens of items that comes out of one of this, a shelter box. Now, 200 have been sent by Rotary already. Another 1,000 are on their way, including the 5 clubs in Northampton have been involved in that. We're going to learn a bit more about that in a second, but other organisations on our patch are doing their bit too, including SOS Children. They're based in Cambridge. If you have a look at these pictures, these are their own pictures of their facility in Haiti. Now, it's the children's orphanage there. It escaped the worst of the damage of the earthquake, but look at the pictures of their football pitch, literally covered in thousands of displaced people, just building homes with whatever they can find. Now, earlier we spoke to them at their headquarters and they told us what they were trying to do to help them.
In the short term, the need in Port-au-Prince, without any question, is water and food. We are shipping water and food in from the Dominican Republic by road in convoys. The first convoys are there. There is a big international effort to get more of both in through the airports.
Well, let's learn a bit more about the shelter box. Leslie's from the Rotary Club of Northampton. Leslie, what are you sending out in these?
Well, we're sending out water bottles, which also have water purifiers. We have cookers, so they can do their cooking, and utensils to go with the cookers. Tools to help them build more homes, and sleeping blankets, mosquito nets.
Literally everything, isn't it?
Yes.
And they cost around £400 each. I mean, are they reaching the people who need to reach them?
Yes, they are. What happens is the shelter box team are already out there and meet the shelter boxes coming in. They have already made sure that they can get the shelter boxes to the people who need them with the help of the Rotary Club of Haiti. And so they've done this so often. It's a very slick organisation, so they know exactly how to handle it.
Leslie, thanks for talking to us. Well done. And they're trying to send out as many of these as possible. Back to you.
Mike, thank you very much.
Now, if you look around your home, you can probably see lots of things which would tell a story of your life. Now the BBC is looking for your help to use those objects and others to write history.
We're working with museums across the region to tell the history of the world through man-made objects. Sometimes it's not what you'd expect, as Mike Liggins has been finding out.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
Neville Chamberlain announces the outbreak of war in 1939. If you remember it, the chances are you might have heard it on an EKCO radio made in Southend. The company belonged to EKCO, that's where the name came from. And in 1934, EKCO had produced the AD-65. Made from Bakelite rather than wood, it was the world's first round radio. Derek Cole is E.K. Cole's son, and he remembers how EKCO pioneered the use of architects to design the radios.
And as soon as Billy Verrills and my father heard of it, they said, we'll market our wirelesses as modern furniture, and we'll get these 2 architects to do it, but nobody else was interested.
EKCO went on to make car radios, televisions, record players, and at one time the company employed 7,000 people in Southend. Generations worked there. People met at EKCO and married, like Jack and Joyce Murch.
And then when he came out of the Navy, he went back to EKCO, and that's when I spotted him, and I set my cap at him. I'm not going to say I didn't. I spotted him and I thought, oh, that's the one for me.
Southend's other claim to fame is the reputation of that factory down there, ours.
EKCO had a huge factory. It sold its products round the world. The company even had its own plane. Identical twins Rita and Brenda Archer were part of the EKCO family.
EKCO was just a massive employer, and it was just it was like a little town in itself. You know what I mean? It was like a little
city, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something very special.
EKCO sold out to Pi in the 1960s. The factory was demolished a couple of years ago. But the name and its products are very much part of modern British history.
That if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
Well, those radios are on show at Southend Museum, and for more information about the objects in your area, or if you want to add your object to help build up a history of the world, go to bbc.co.uk/a history of the world.
Julie has been getting her skates on, haven't you?
I have, Susie. I'm really excited because the recent cold weather meant that I got to go ice skating on the Cambridgeshire Fens. Now, it was an incredible experience because, of course, the water doesn't freeze that often, and also because you get young and old skating side by side, and some animals too.
It is a wonderful, uniquely Fenland thing, and to get out on the ice and do this, for some people it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and if you've done it once, you're always hooked. I think most people that have actually been involved with fen skating or been out skating on the fens are always wondering and wishing and hoping for the next spell of ice. And it's freezing cold, isn't it? But there's not a sad, dull face out here, you know. My lips can hardly speak, but we're all having some fun.
It was incredibly cold, and on tonight's programme I get to find out lots more about the history of skating in the Fens, and also get to witness the first speed skating races in over a decade. So of course that's on Inside Out here on BBC One in just over half an hour's time. Now today it was quite mild, temperatures up to about 8 degrees Celsius.